God bless you. Coming in to do the news stream. I'm just going to play some what they call elevator music while I get prepared. Thank everybody for tuning in. Please subscribe, like, share this with your family or anybody you think may be interested in me reading the news real quick for today. And I wanted to try to do this every morning. Just it's kind of like it's kind of like that was the wrong song. That's the song I play for the stalkers. It gets a little different. It's mental health issues with a lot of you know black men to harass you like that. But I put that over the sirens because as I was saying, the siren noise is the stalker. They will because usually those type of companies don't run a sirens, but they can stalk people the same way they stalk you to do things that they think they could get away with. I can't find my elevator music. Let me see. I might have to download a different song, but that one I really like. All right, so there's my the intro music, and let's wait for someone to get in. All right, so we got someone in the live. That's right, God is good, and all the time, and all the time, God is good. I know a lot of people have different religions, and some people are not feeling the vibe of the church. But you know, I believe in God because of the adversity that I've been through in life. I found that, you know, God was there. Okay, so it does seem like you can hear me, which is always a good thing. All right, give me one moment, guys. As I was saying, when I think about all the goodness that um, God has done for me, a lot of people get bent out of shape when it comes down to, praising God and serving God. And I think the reason being is because most people want to profit. Who don't? Who don't? I mean, it's silly for adults to feel like, okay, you know, um, okay, hold on a minute. I lost my track of where I was. Hold on. So I still have to get hardwired. I bought the wrong length, and so it doesn't stretch long enough. Um, so thank you, my faithful subscribers that come and check me out and support me. I myself would like to do a little networking with YouTubers. It's a handful of them that I would like to network with, because the kind of networking I want to do is with doing something with drama, like, and catharsis. It's a way of releasing stress through art, and I did a little bit of research and heard that, like, acting out your pain and frustration is like a form of therapy, and it's real good. So I have another playlist that's called Armchair Acting, and so anybody that want to add on there, anybody that want to maybe act out a scene, I can even give you a script like the one I used for the one I just did, or I can write you up a script. Now my experience with writing is I've done a little bit of content writing for some years and supported myself writing. So I can do research writing. Now writing scripts will be new for me. I'm going to turn this song down so you can hear me. Because I know sometimes music helps move some people, but other people could just bring them to a dark place that they don't need to be. And there's so much going on nowadays that we do have to be aware of our mental health and kind of, keep an eye on it, because it could take a turn for the better, or it could take a turn for the worse. And it happens. So I've been live about 15 minutes now. I'm just getting a lot of buffering. But yeah, so I was asked, why do I serve God, right? So I serve God humbly. Some people serve God aggressively, and those are the people that we usually see on TV, the preachers and the pastors. Those are the ones I would say they serve God aggressively. Um, there's a couple of things I know for certain. When I pass away, when I'm 1,099 and 900 years old, that I don't get to take anything with me. I don't get to take these clothes, jewelry, or anything. So serving God helps me to realize that in this book, it's been written eons ago, and it's telling you that don't be covetous. or don't, and also don't prize materialistic things. Now that doesn't mean that we shouldn't want a jacket when it's cold, and we shouldn't want a roof over our heads as adults and be able to support our own selves. But it does play into the content of, and I don't know where my microphone is. I think my microphone is over here. We have to play into the idolatry of, we can't serve God and money. That doesn't mean that, again, when it's cold, you don't want a jacket, and when you're an adult, you don't want a roof over your head. But what means do you use to get that? Are you manipulating people? Do you really believe in God? So a lot of times, I think us women, specifically black women, need to come out of those churches. We also need to come from amongst our own selves, because a lot of, I can speak from my personal experience, when it comes down to family, the so-called traditional family and support, I have none. It's all imaginary, just for my mental health. And I'm speaking the truth. Family, my father told me you can't pick and choose your family. So those are my family, and I love them. However, cruel company corrupts good manners. There's a lifestyle that I had been accustomed to as a child because I didn't have a choice. Now that I'm no longer a child, I have a choice to choose to be around people who are like-minded, people who appreciate education, people who appreciate growth, people who appreciate not being betrayed and backstabbed. I could never understand what goes into the mind of a man that would sit there and be your best buddy in your face, but behind your back they're talking a completely different story. And you would be so dumbfounded and astonished. And you probably have a heart attack and die in some cases if you really knew what your so-called family was saying about you when it counts the most. So that's why I serve God, because God, the Bible tells you, not until you forsake your mother and father and come to me, in so many words. Because I'm not a preacher to preach over anyone. I am a witness, and I can witness to anyone that I've experienced a lot of adversity because of my morals. And you get a lot of gaslighting because you have people to come in there and tell you how you're supposed to live your life. And they're not telling you why they're telling you to live your life a way that makes it easier for them to groom you. But be mindful that, it's all been written before, and if we don't take time to look at the history, we repeat it, and we repeat its adversity. Another thing I want to talk about real quick before I start reading the paper is trans women. Now, I know that cisgender men would prefer that cisgender women not be around trans women, but I've been around trans women as an adolescent, and I always felt connected to them. Although I didn't want to cross dress, although I didn't want to be homosexual, meaning like with the same, fab, defab gender. But I didn't necessarily want to be that girl that was boy crazy or really interested in guys like that. Like I wanted to have a kid. I didn't mind being married because I felt like two adults in the house has to be better than one. But I felt like I probably would have did better being single and maybe foster care, like being a foster parent, because there's so many kids out here that need us, and it kind of hurts me when we look into the mind of a black man. A lot of them seem to love to produce kids. We don't need. We got the population is good. We don't need any more. Reason being is because support. We're not supposed to have kids under the unction or the notion that they're gonna take care of themselves. Like all you gotta do is the dance, the baby making dance, and then when the kids pop out, no need to butter that biscuit because it's gonna do it itself. Y'all could just go over there and get on welfare and all this stuff, but not knowing that the welfare system is designed to keep you in the cycle of poverty. It was never designed to help you kickstart your life. It's definitely a life preserver because family don't help. And I don't know why that is. But it seems like once you need family, like once you out here with a child, they don't help you. Everything gets quiet and silent quickly. And you're always the scapegoat for whatever problem the black man has. Don't think for a second that he could have did all that on his own, came up with the idea himself, and executed it and fell on his face. He gonna come back and act like you had something to do with with it not being right. Another thing I don't understand is how what goes into the mind of a man that beats a woman as if she's physically equal with her. And see, that's another problem us black women have to understand, that if a man show you his true colors and he beat you, he put his hands on you, he's just trying to take your life. Because if you take my height and my weight and you find a man that's the same height and weight, I'm not equal with him on a physical level. On a spiritual level, we are all very equal. God says he gives us all the same measure in the spirit. So that means in the spirit, we all neck to neck. But physically, common sense tell me that someone's 6 foot and I'm just 5 foot, that, he's stronger than I am. Now, if a man takes that, hey, I'm stronger than you and I can beat your brains in and kill you with one punch, you're not supposed to be talking to me, but as if you're my child, like a child. Those men need to be somewhere in jail because that's not smart. When you're not the smartest person in the room, but you're the strongest one, common sense should tell you that your skills are needed when it's time to get physical, like a sport, like a physical contact sport. Ladies, we don't want to play a physical contact sport with these guys. You have to get a gun. Not to say he ain't gonna go get one, but these guys are not trying to risk their lives for you. They're trying to risk your life for them. Because that young lady that we saw on that recording, God bless her that she had that recording. I don't know if people know who I'm talking about, but I don't want to get into the specifics because I've seen that and I've experienced that myself. You don't want to get into a physical altercation with someone like a gladiator. That's the grace of God that sister is doing better. She's not going to be her optimum self no time soon, but at least she knows that what he did is wrong. At least looks like she's not going to play into the game of getting back with him. In my mind, why did he do that? I don't know. I don't know him, but I feel like it had to do with money. It had to do with he needs money and he wants to probably take advantage of her and get it that way. But nowadays, these men don't want to be with a woman that's that's not aware of her surroundings. So an incapacitated woman, because we all know that that means that y'all gotta excuse me for a moment, I gotta use the bathroom, I gotta go to the ladies room. But the consensus is that if we see a man with a woman and she looks incapacitated, like she can barely walk, or she's not like aware of her surroundings, they gonna get the police called on them. So nowadays, I believe I'm led to speak on this, is that they want the women to be those type of females that they also take and talk down to at the same time, if that makes sense. I'm trying to speak on something without speaking on it at the same time, because ladies, most of us know what's going on, but the young ones don't. And it's hard. If you took me 20 years ago and you sat me down and you told me this, that a man that's supposed to protect you, just like when your parents were supposed to have protected you when you was a child, there's a man out here, men out here, that's supposed to protect you, but they will prey on you instead, and they would take you up the creek without a paddle and leave you stranded as a means of conditioning you to feel hopeless. You should feel very hopeless in that man, but that's not what he's feeding you. Someone that can put their hands on you like that man did that woman, you have to understand that whatever your thoughts are no longer your thoughts. He could reprogram you into thinking that you need to help him when he can't even help himself. You have to, I don't know if a lot of these men think that, oh, I'm all messed up inside. I know I'm messed up inside, and all I need is a woman to fix me. We're not made to fix no man. You're not. Don't never put yourself in a situation where a man is telling you that he needs something from you no more than who you are. No more than your heart and your mind. This man want to be with you because he wants a kid. That's a no-go. That's a no-go. You're not a baby making machine, because he would take those kids and throw them into human trafficking just like they did in post-antebellum era. I'm sorry, in the antebellum era, not post, but the pre-antebellum era, or the antebellum era. When you look at a black man, look at a black man in the antebellum era, and then everything they do really flows into place. It really helps you to understand in the mind of what's going on. If y'all feel me. If you think about the black man and his actions, think about antebellum era and how the black man had to treat the black woman. But most importantly, black women, we need new laws, global. We're least protected on the globe. If you look at blacks in Africa, you will notice that the life expectancy is like 54. Why is that? Well, if you go to Africa, you'll realize that the culture is not conducive to a woman. Women, there are no laws against rape. It's all tribal. You have to, if something goes wrong, you're supposed to pull some dudes from somewhere. Kind of like our pastors. They the ones who lay down the law. And if you know anything about anything, that's the worst situation to be in. For some pastor to be able to tell you what it is and what the law is, that's crazy. It's too subjective. That it's going to be based off of how they feel about you on that day. They can just hate your stinking guts. Guess what? You're out of luck. So that's all I have to say is that women, please be mindful that we need a law. We need to step forward for our sisters in Africa, our sisters over there in Madagascar, our sisters over there in Europe, our sisters over there in Asia, if that's possible, because I doubt it, but you never know. That live there, was born over there in Asia. We're not protected. We're not protected, and it's hard to make a law for Africa because they have a tribal type of policing system. You know, public protection, like public safety. They don't have that in Africa. There's no such thing. Like you need to pay someone to be like a bodyguard from the